Hello, this is a analysis by a Hollywood screenwriter about the song Fast Car by Tracy Chapman. Yeah, this is really such a beautiful song. And there's the feeling of it, this longing, and really in a sense of longing and sort of inadvertent victim is, I guess, all victimizing or self acting like a victim in our lives. Is something that we do oftentimes, almost everybody does to some degree or another. And then partly when we're in that place, we're longing for something else outside of ourselves, the future or whatever. And it's because we're not dealing with our present and we're in pain. And man, this song expresses that so beautifully. And it's similar to what I'm writing, a story that I'm writing right now. So I was exploring the song just as partly inspiration. And I love Tracy Chapman's version. I love a lot of the covers. It's especially when people really get into their authentic experience of these ideas. It's so powerful. So let's get into it. Let's start with this idea of fast car. Like, what a really cool, simple metaphor. Like fast car. I mean, like how who cares how quickly a car moves? I mean, this is about how we're living our life and sort of getting away. But I guess part of a fast car, you get away faster and out of this present moment, this pain that you're in. So she says, "You got a fast car, and I want a ticket to anywhere. Maybe we'll make a deal. Maybe together we can get somewhere." And it's this conspiring energy of really probably this budding romance, I guess. And it's like, hey, I'm hurting and I'm into you, and maybe together. So maybe that word maybe here is really interesting. Um, Maybe we make a deal. Maybe together we can get somewhere. Blah, blah. Maybe we'll make something. It's really beautiful and melancholy. And so, yeah, so any place is better. And then she talks about herself, which I think is really powerful. There's a humility here. Like, look, starting from zero, I got nothing to lose. Maybe we'll make something. Me, myself, I got nothing to prove. So there's a real beautiful sort of soft spoken, sort of soft, it's a humility, I guess, is the word that's coming to me. And it's just, hey, I'm just this person. I just really want to get out of here. There's nothing, you know, I've got nothing to prove. And maybe we can do something together. The other thing this longing reminds me is of Mice and Men, the John Steinbeck story, when they would talk, like George and Lenny were these two travelers in, like, I guess, late 1800s or maybe early 1900s. But they were traveling around for work, and he was special needs, and the Lenny was special needs, and George was taking care of him, would complain about him, but they really needed each other. And they'd always talk about someday we'll get a farm and we'll have this beautiful life later. And there's something about that that really speaks deeply to me, that I feel like is thundering through this song. And she continues, "You got a fast car. I got a plan to get us out of here. I've been working at the convenience store. I managed to save just a little bit of money. We won't have to drive too far, just cross the border and into the city. You and I can both get jobs. Finally seeing what it means to be living." So I'll get to that last line in a second, but like this idea that, like, oh my God, like we've got this dream, we can get out of here and we can go together. And um, man, it hits hard for me, just because of early in my life, and how things, I was hurting in these way, one way or another, and just this idea of, it's just in the city, it's just over there, I could do it, and you and I could do it together, and we could get out of here. And really, it's, I can get away from this pain that I'm experiencing, that I've actually created myself, but I don't realize it. And that's really what she gets to with this idea: finally see what it means to be living. Wow. When you're born, you're living, right? You've been living your whole life. But so many of us are in this state of giving away our agency of our own lifestyle design or our own perception design. And so then we replace that with, well, if I could just have this dream come true later. if you were somebody in my screenwriting audience, well, I could make it as a screenwriter if I could just get Hollywood to buy this, or just get an agent, or just get something else other. Or in this case, more broadly, we could just, get that thing over there in the city, someplace else. Then I could find out what it means to be living. Oh my goodness. It's just a heartbreaker of not recognizing the power we have in our current situation, giving away the agency. And then we go a little deeper here. See, my old man's got a problem. He lived with a bottle. It's the way it is. So, okay, now there's this history of alcoholism and, and all the conflicts that come with that. He says his body's too old for working. Well, his body's too young to look like his. Okay, tons of stuff going on here. So he says his body's too old for working. So what that is, another sort of giving away of agency. So here's a guy who's struggling with his life and saying, wow, my body, it's too old for working. So he's denying his own power, his own ability to be a part of the community and take place in his own way. He's making an excuse that he's too old for it. So again, it's this recurring theme of, I'm not going to embrace what I have now, who I am, who I'm being, all the things I can do. I'll put it off on somebody. I'll make excuses. I'll think about the future. I'll think about something other than the present. And in his words, as expressed by her, he says his body's too old for work. Beautiful. And then she comes back, well, his body's too young to look like his. That line is so fascinating when I hear all the different musicians cover it, because there's like vicious, his body's too young to look like it. So you can nail your, what's that projection on the father? Or is there empathy? His body's too young to look like his. So it's a really beautiful line that you could play either way that really reveals the projections on the parent. And then we get into the other part of this. Mama, she went off and left him. She wanted more from life than he could give. Oh, heartbreaker, right? So, a lot to unpack there too, right? So the marriage split off, and but the way she says it, she wanted more from life than he could give. Like it was his responsibility. Again, it's like this sense of displaced agency. Like it was the dad's job to give her life but his truth is she creates her own life. And she wasn't able to create her own happiness with him. So of course she should split. But the way it's phrased is so powerful and telling. She wanted more from life than he could give. And now we get to another fascinating part of the song. I said, somebody's got to take care of him. So I quit school, and that's what I did. Woo! Now we like this person even more. This is what Blake Snyder calls saving the cat, right? So she's got this, not getting the support she needed as a kid growing up. Got this family that has, some real struggles, which is pretty typical, right? A lot of families have struggles. And mom's out of the picture. Well, somebody's got to take care of them, you know. So she took on that burden and takes care of the dad, and then gave up her own dreams, which is heartbreaking, right? Because she just said, oh, I got these dreams. We're going to get together. We're going to get out of here. And then she kind of sacrificed. So, all right. And then we get to the chorus. I think, is this the chorus? I don't know. So you got a fast car. Is it fast enough so we can fly away? I don't think it is. It's sort of, I'm not a music person. I'm really studying the lyrics, but there's the chorus, and then this is kind of like an adjunct chorus or something. I don't know what you call it. But in terms of like what this is about, story wise, is it fast enough so we can fly away? Maybe we can get out of here. But now she's like questioning, like, man, is this really going to work? I've got these dreams. And now what's really interesting here is this is a moment of decision. In screenwriting, this often comes in the structurally, like in the end of the first act. Are we going to go or are we not? Still got to make a decision. Leave tonight or live and die this way. That is, in screenwriting terms, Act 1B, the debate, right? Am I going to stay? Am I going to go? But at one point, she's speaking to this urgency where she or these two people together had an opportunity to kind of go for their dreams and get out of there. And it's so beautifully stated. Still got to make a decision. Leave tonight or live and die this way. Beautiful. So now here's the chorus. So I remember when we were driving in your car, speed so fast, I felt like I was drunk. City lights, they lay out before us. Your arm felt nice wrapped around my shoulder. Isn't that beautifully understated? Nice. I mean, what a boring vanilla word, but there's such authenticity in that word choice here. Your arm, it felt nice around my shoulder. And that whole thing, this connection between these two people and this promise of a life that had a different sort of result than the pain that she was feeling. And yet again, we all create our own existence. We all have our own perception design and we all have our own lifestyle design. And what's so beautiful about this song is it's about the truth about how many people, or how me and everybody to some extent or another, some more severely than others, aren't really owning their own power, their ability to create the lifestyle design that we want and then the perception design that we want. Um, and instead we then associate it with, oh, if we team up then I can feel good about life. Oh, if we move then I can feel good about life. Oh, when we were connected like this, yet this, the speed was so fast I felt like I was drunk, and the city lights, they lay out before us, and your arm felt nice wrapped around my shoulder, and I had a feeling that I belonged. Oh man, I had a feeling that I could be someone, be someone, be someone. What a absolute banger of an idea, that we're not inherently someone, but that if we do this other thing, then we will be someone. Oh, just breaks my heart because so much of my life, um, I've created that sort of perception of myself. And to a large extent, I don't anymore, but sometimes I do. So it's so beautiful and haunting and amazing. Okay, let's keep going. But just, and again, these are kind of like almost cliched ideas: belonging, being someone, blah blah blah. But wow, when you really say it truthfully and authentically for your situation, like, this is where I feel like I belong. This is how I feel like I can be someone. And she associates it with this connection that she has to get them out of here. It's amazing. You got a fast car. We go cruising. Oh, so now what's really amazing. Okay, let's keep more. You got a fast car. We go cruising. We entertain ourselves. You still ain't got a job. Oh, so now we get to this place where they made it out. They made the choice. They went, and they're like, okay, great. Now we're going to start living, right? Um, but then reality sets in because it's never about the other. It's about now. How do I embrace right now? So they go cruising. They entertain themselves. They're getting some of that life they thought they were getting, but you still ain't got a job. So I work in a market as a checkout girl. And I know things will get better. She's thinking about that. But like, what's so interesting is, again, she's in some ways taking agency for her own life and she's contributing, but she picked some guy that she thought has that fast car, is going to get her out of there. And this guy couldn't contribute. So who picked that guy? She did, you know? Um, I know things will get better. She's trying to be optimistic again. You'll find work and I'll get promoted. We'll move out of the shelter. Whoa, record scratch. Shelter? Wow. These people are really living in a hard life. They're in a shelter. She's got a checkout girl. I mean, wow. So much pain, it's going on here. And it's so beautifully expressed. And still this recurring dream. So we'll move out of the shelter. We'll buy a bigger house. We'll live in the suburbs. So like things have moved on. They've gotten, in some ways, moved forward. They're at least together. But things have been rough if they're in a shelter and she's working and he's not. And oh man, what a heartbreaker. So the chorus goes, so I remember when you're driving your car, blah, blah, blah. You don't want me to actually try to sing. I would love to sing, but it doesn't sound yet. I need to take singing lessons at some point. Okay, anyway, back to, you got a fast car. Now we have moved forward. I got a job. It pays all our bills. She's progressed in her life. And what's going on with the partner? You stay out drinking late at the bar. You see more of your friends than you do your kids. Like, it was so amazing to me and so powerful is that, like, these are like super cliche ideas, right? But it's told with such plain power and authenticity. Just for me, it's just like a lightning bolt of Yeah, that's how it happens. You know, I'd always hoped for better. Thought maybe together you and me would find it. I got no plans. I ain't going nowhere. Take your fast car and keep on driving. So I'm laughing to prevent myself from crying because it's like that fast car was her ticket out, her ticket to finally feeling good. Um, and God damn it, she chose somebody and created a life with this person that was sort of what happened with her mom and the dad, right? So that's not an accident. That's we are doomed to repeat the shadows of our parents and other people unless we really re-examine and make and deliberately make very different choices. Um, so yeah, and just like take your fast car and keep on driving. Again, the way people sing that line, whether it's Tracy or other people, is an absolute banger. Take your fast car and keep on driving. Is there bitterness? Is it anger? Is it whatever? But it's so revealing and so beautiful. And then we get into the chorus again. So wow. Thank you, Tracy Chapman. And thank you everybody else that's covered it that I've watched. I've watched dozens of covers of this song. I love it. I love it so much. It's so beautiful. What a beautifully poetic embrace of this complexity of life of trying to be happy and really go after our dreams. So hopefully you guys watching this got something out of this analysis because I enjoyed sharing my thoughts. Sending you lots of love. Now, get in that fast car and keep on driving.